Greetings, mortals. I am the Fallen Shogun, and steadily gathering knowledge. Now, something I need to do, and something I want to do, as I'm looking at everything we have locked and unlocked. I can cancel things and re-grab them. Of course, that will cause a few issues. I can see some frozen here, it's taking a while. But the buildings you build stay available. So what I'm thinking of doing is cancelling a few things, and then, obviously pausing the game and doing the build. So you remember, I'm going to start working on this area. I have no idea what on earth I want to build. So it's going to be a completely sped up area because, I don't know what I'm doing. But with that in mind, I'm going to take away ability for most of these things which we don't really need. So let's get rid of research. I kind of need the research. Let's grab all the way up to the chamber. Then we need access to the spiritual. We need like a temple. We need the crypt. We also need access to maybe the court. We definitely need access to the arena. The more things you unlock, by the way, the more things you unlock, the more resources are spent to maintain them. This is completely me just having a think. Because the more stuff you have unlocked, and the higher the tier, the more knowledge you need to keep them running. So with that in mind, I'm going to quickly unlock everything I want to, and then we're going to start the build. So give me a second as our frozen resources come back to us. Let's get this party started. Now, one thing I can't grab is the civic. This is a massive thing, the court. Same with the church. So we're going to ignore those and just keep on going with everything else we've currently got going. And with that, we'll see how things go. So give me a second. We are preparing. And then we'll get this party truly started. Okay, so what we have now is a very basic build of the area. I'm beginning to think we need like a small workshop area over here, just for people who have jobs to do. Like a small paper maker, a small carpenter, a little area for resources to be gathered. It's not big, but it's there. Then of course we have our more eateries, lavatories, hearths. This is obviously where the dock workers and the builders come in. So there's our janitor. So it's basically a small area where people can live, sleep and eat. Then we're going to start pushing out into the river, but we need to expand that a bit more. But I thought I'd just quickly talk about what I'm currently doing, because I'm not entirely sure I like what I'm currently doing, and it may be subject to complete and total change. Because let's face it, I'm not entirely sure what I'm properly doing. This is not planned, this is just a thing I'm planning on. So let's carry on digging out. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to wait till this area is dug up, annoyingly, but there it is. So this is what we're currently looking at. Small area for like paper making and carpentry. I obviously want a bigger industrial area somewhere else, but this gives this area a bit of a flavour. It may not be the best flavour, but it is a little bit of flavour. Now we just have to hope that my research survives long enough. Because again, we're also taking away food from these people. It looks like it's coming along nicely. The new road's been moved further up, as you can see. And everything else is coming along. We have a bit of a wood and stone area. We have paths and things. I think it should be okay, but we have to, hope. Because otherwise this is going to be a bit of a problem. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. I'm thinking we want some kind of barrack system over here, next to the warehouses and so on. So this will be a small garrison near this edge of the river. This area here, of course, is, like I say, the docklands. We have to wait for this area to be dug up, which is going to take a bit of a while, but we have flat house, we have dormitory. We have a lot of things currently happening, and that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome indeed, although we might take a hit on our people, a few might die. But that's a risk I'm very willing to take. They're probably not, but who cares about them? And the actual area looks alright, to be fair. Obviously it needs a little bit more work, but it looks quite nice. There's little food areas, obviously I need a little warehouse for food. We have the beginnings of this area, which will be where the warehouses are. I quite like it. I don't know if it's big enough, but it's starting to give a feel of a dockland. And I might destroy these. I'm not entirely sure I'm happy where these currently are. I might genuinely destroy this area, but this kind of situation I'm very happy for. I like this kind of thing. So, yeah, we may change this, get rid of these, have more warehouse and stuff down here. And, I don't know. I want the warehouses here for storing big resources, but it won't really help the rest of the city. So maybe this will be our big overflow warehouses. Obviously, then everyone else will take stuff from them. But it is what it currently is. As you can see, like I said, there's a little bit of water along the edge, so you can never fully seal off the water. So what we need, of course, is a what do you call them? We need access to a tavern, a couple of taverns, so one here, one there, one up over here. Make this more of a thriving area, because eateries and so on. Make it that people who are lower income come around here. We can actually have a lower income area for our city here. Then obviously we can seal it off near this barracks, of which it's still not complete. I'm not sure what to do with the barracks, but I think I should give it a try right now. So let's give it a try right now. Okay, so that sets up a warehouse for the equipment, an eatery, toilet, somewhere for them to sleep. This is where our archer training unit will be. Not quite sure who they will be, but it sets it up area. Now we can also obviously expand it a little bit, do some more things, as long as this area doesn't touch that area. Because there is a bit of a gap, and I kind of want it to stay there. Because if I dig it up, it will always be water rather than deep water. Now I do need to import some bows and some what are called, quivers right now, but that's a can't I say a future thing? That's a nowish thing, but we'll work on that because we don't really have the space for it. Another thing we don't really have is access to that much stone. Stone is still a big one, most of it's being turned into nice shiny blocks, so that's a little bit of an issue. Now we've got a lot of people currently working. I've currently turned everyone in here into workers, so they're all doing that for me. Food is obviously suffering a little bit as a result, but everything is coming along. So we have access to, let's see, just clear all of that. We have access to this area. This area is now making resources too. So a lot of stuff is happening. Again, I don't know if I like this. I might just completely get rid of it. But this area over here looking busy and actually having stuff going on, I like that. I like this a lot. So this is going to carry on going. The guard post, of course, requires a little bit more in the way of equipment. And when these are up and running, I'm going to have another unit of archers. So another battalion, or whatever they're called, will be fully prepared. But until then, yeah, we just need this area to be built up, and then we'll see how things go, I guess. I'll be honest, I carried on building a little bit more. I didn't realise what was going on. I've been doing some experimentation with some build designs, as you can probably see from this. First of all, the little fort down here, I've added like 2 little training grounds to it. There's enough for 5, 8, 11, 6, there's 15, there's 14 people. We've got up to 14 people here training as soldiers. I'm going to start moving all the equipment over to this little thing over here. This right now will be our main training zone. We've got a lot of soldiers training with the arrows. Over here is pretty big. In fact, if I scroll out on the map, you can see it's a massive chunk of real estate. This is the university. As in, literally, the 2 central pieces of university. This bit here, here, and here. Just like full central piece. Which can, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 14. There's 14 people can be here teaching people, well, anything. They get better with learning and so on. So there's a massive, massive zone here. And the 4 outer sections are libraries. Each one can hold 5,000 knowledge, because each library holds so much knowledge. It's why we can't get past certain points. So this can hold 20,000 knowledge, which we'll be using, of course, to push past certain areas, like getting our fishing up and running, getting our breeding up and running. Now, it's not actually going to be here, because I literally built it on a mass grave accidentally. This was just me doing a bit of experimentation, but this is a design I think I'm going to be going with for our main university. I just don't quite know where to put it, because obviously people have to work here, there'll be little dormitories. I'm thinking maybe over here by the lake. Of course, that would mean we have to extend our city over to there, and we're very much not over there. But I'm thinking university can go over here, and we'll see how things go. Until that point, I think we're ready. We have some extra troops. I think there's some people trying to bother us. We have 150 infantry, 50 archers. The archers, of course, still training. We have plenty of equipment. I am probably going to end up deleting this and just like expanding this area. I don't like the idea of workshops being here. And this area down here is getting some lavatories, and this little village will keep on expanding a little bit more as well. Probably even cover this bit as well. But the fishing is done, mostly. The dock work is going on. The Great Library exists, and obviously the little fortress here guarding it. I've also found out you can't put troops on these walls, because it's just big enough for 1 or so people. I think they have to be like 4 thick to have troops on them. So I'm going to have to push out, because we keep getting attacked from the north. So our defensive walls have to be built up in the north. Until then, I think we're good to go, and I think this is everything I currently can do. Look forward to me for having this place somewhere else, because they're currently building it. It's a lot of resources to be currently built, but they're currently doing that. So we need to move it or let it go. We'll see how it is. Till next time, goodbye.